Josh Spires.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.
Josh, you're one of the OGs of the Ardest Gallery where we are here in the Woodlands.
Yeah, the revised new version.
That's right.
I made it at like the last little bit of the last location. I don't remember, in Egypt or somewhere.
In Egypt.
Yeah,
Yes, Honey, Egypt.
Yeah.
In Magnolia, Texas.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I first saw your work. And it's funny, we were talking just before we started recording here that I know you more through your work than I do personally. And sometimes, when you don't know someone, especially artists, you start to kind of form an idea of who they are based on their artwork.
It happens to me too every time I walk around the gallery. I have like these like made up stories or ideas, and I'll meet them and be like, sometimes it's like spot on, sometimes it's like absolutely not.
Right, in a totally different place. And so for you, I always had this idea that you're this mysterious, enigmatic person who's in the shadows.
Really?
Yeah, just based on your works. And we're
Yeah.
sitting in front of one of my favorite pieces of yours here, this
Thank you.
portrait, this self-portrait.
Yeah, my first ever actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. And this was part of one of the portrait shows. That was
Inner
here.
Horizons.
Inner Horizons, good recall.
Yeah.
Good. And this is the Houston cityscape
Yep,
in your head?
yep.
Right. And so this is what I mean by like enigmatic, puzzling. Like your images are always based in reality, but they're mysterious. Right? That's what you're going for?
Pretty much.
Okay. And I have a lot of favorites. I mean, this is one of them. And we'll talk about, several of these. But another one that I really love is your profile picture on the Ardest Gallery's website.
Oh yeah.
The black profile, like it's a silhouette.
Yeah.
And in the background, you have this crazy like Blade Runner, like light show going on.
Yes.
And so that's what I mean. Like it's a mystery because I don't really see your face. Oh, we don't see your face at all.
Right.
All we see is your silhouette.
Right.
Here, we don't really see your face. We
Right.
see your eye and your ear and a little bit of your head, but it's
True.
mysterious.
Yeah.
So would my description of your photography be on with what you consider
Yes,
yourself?
I might not have ever used the word mysterious as like an intent before, but if that's an effect, then I'm fine with it. But it's not so much like what I set out to do. It's more of just kind of like a side effect.
It's just what happens.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So your work is based in nature. You do a lot of cityscapes, natural landscapes, architecture is another thing you see show up a lot. But it's never as you really see it. It's twisted. There's always a twist.
Right.
So tell me, where does that come from? Where does the twists on everyday things come?
I suppose I have a fascination with alternate realities.
Okay.
And always have. And the way that I move through the world, it just never really seemed to line up with the way that other people talked about the world. Like it just seemed like a little bit weirder, and things stood out in stranger ways to me. And
Okay.
so once I started taking pictures for real, which is a recent thing, I'm not really a photographer. I just kind of started, like we were talking about the previous incarnation of Ardest. That was that show was like my first like serious endeavor into photography.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the one where you won Best in Show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a Honolulu ocean swirl.
Yeah.
We'll show an image of it.
Right.
It's like a circle. There's a lot of circles in your work too.
Yeah.
A lot of like motion. Go ahead, explain.
Well, I don't know if it's the right time, but my whole life has been a cinematographer.
Okay.
And when I would be on different assignments, I would take out a stills camera like for fun if I was like, getting burnt out in the moment from shooting video. And so I would take a stills camera and it would just be like a fun thing. And then eventually did kind of step back from cinematography a little bit and trying to like reassess what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And found what I wanted to do was really take pictures underwater. And so along with that, I started doing all the things that would allow me to get serious about that. And one was take pictures more seriously.
Yeah.
2 was like learn how to free dive. and 3 was like learn how to work a camera underwater seriously.
Wow.
And so that all happened around the same time, and so like that image that was in that show, I don't remember the name of it, but it was
Inside Out, I
water-based.
think was the name of it, right?
That was, yes, that's the name of the image, but the show,
Oh, the show.
it was
I don't
like,
remember,
I don't think it was
yeah.
oceans or something water.
Okay.
And so it just all,
Seascapes or something.
yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
That
yeah.
sounds like close. It all just came together.
Hmm.
And so honestly, like winning a show your first go is not something I would recommend, because then you have this idea going forward. You're like, oh yeah,
You're gonna take on the
yeah,
world.
no, that's really not what happens. It's pretty hard, and I have a lot to say about that, but we'll get there. But anyways,
Okay.
yes, that was my kind of like first go at it, and that ever since then I've been trying to take pictures seriously and professionally, and that's only been not quite 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. A few years ago.
Yeah.
That is, I gotta say, that is shocking to me because, well, you can see the cinematography.
Yeah.
For sure, you can see that because your lighting is
A lot of overlap.
really good. Yeah.
It's not like I just picked up my first camera 3 years ago, so
Right.
I don't want to make it, I don't want to sandbag it like, you know, I learned fast.
Mm-hmm.
They're overlapped worlds, but like there are a lot of thought processes that do not overlap. You
Right.
know, you're thinking about different steps at different times if you're shooting video versus photo. And so I just never really like stopped to put my mind into that like stills
Right.
process until recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you win the first show you apply it to.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Thanks.
You also mentioned something that piqued my interest. You learned free diving.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know what free diving is, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so it's sort of like scuba diving, just without a tank.
Yeah, with no air.
Right. You only have the air in your lungs, and you learn how to do a breath hold.
Yeah.
And you learn the technique to be safe and to travel
Mm-hmm.
quickly, and to most of all be calm.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people use it as a meditative practice more than anything. It's also a sport, and one that's growing kind of in popularity, but for a lot of people, it's not about how deep you can go, but just how present you can be with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned to scuba dive a few years ago, and as much as I love the water, which is the most out of anything, there's something about like the baggage of scuba diving and like the ordeal and the prep that is just not my style.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started trying to figure out how to take pictures underwater and how to do both of those things, and I just wasn't enjoying it.
Mm.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
And so I went to Hawaii and said, I'm going to take an underwater picture every day while I'm here. I like booked this month trip, and it was not for fun, which, you know, Hawaii is a fun place, but I was
Yeah.
like, there's no beach days, there's no fun days. It's like, we're like going to figure this thing out. And as soon as I was there, I was like, I need to learn how to not die. Because I kept dragging my housing underwater, like trying to take these pictures, and I was like, there's a better way to do this. And so I looked up a class, and it changed my life. And so I got certified level 1 freediving on that trip, and
Wow.
did a lot of different pictures, and I wanted to have that be my entire business, actually.
Okay.
I wanted to switch away from video, and not video as a whole, but the type of video that I was doing, which was very like documentary, very, I guess you would call it non-fictional, and my training and my background is fiction. And so I wanted to return to that after like 15 years. And so when big movies do underwater scenes, it's not their normal crew that does it. They hire a team that does it all the time.
Okay.
And so I would want to be on a team like that. And so that was the approach. And so, yeah, I still live in Houston now, and so I don't get to do it very much. I mean, you can figure out ways to do it in pools, as some of the pieces I have had. But yeah, that's one of my dreams, but the one that I've felt the strongest about.
Underwater images.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so in free diving, I've read a lot on the subject, and I think David Blaine trained to do free diving, so he could do that long, because he tried to break the record. I think he did.
He did at the time. I can't remember. It was like 22 minutes or something like that.
So may I ask, how long can you hold your breath? Is that something that you do?
Oh yeah, when you're training, you do what is called static apnea, and that's where you just float face down on the surface. and that's how you really get used to like the feeling of a breath hold. You do it with a partner, not by yourself. That's
Okay.
one of the rules of freediving is never alone.
Okay.
And so you do it with a partner, and the kind of like rule of thumb they say is however long you can do in a static apnea, you can do half of that in a dive.
Okay.
And so if you can actually float for 2 minutes, then you could do like a minute.
Wow.
So my static apnea, the last time I had it tested was 4:15.
Wow.
And so that was my breath hold, and I've done many dives since then that I haven't really timed properly, but
Yeah.
about half of that I can be underwater for 2 minutes maybe.
Wow.
Diving, moving.
Yeah, yeah. So you're moving while, and are you able to? You say you feel a sense of calm and peace, right?
The most.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is so cool to me because, for most people, that would cause panic, right?
Right.
But I guess the whole part of training is
Yeah.
to bring it down. And when you say that, now when I go back and look at those images, I can feel the peace. And
Really?
the calm. Yeah. Oh, of course. Like.
That's really good to hear.
Definitely like the swirly. There's something about that circular motion.
Yeah.
With the water. There's a lot of water in your works, right?
For sure.
The window piece out here at Tegucigalpa,
Yeah.
right? There's water in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's water, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the city in Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
What's the story behind that? I'm assuming you went there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was technically the first time I ever put together one of these inside out pieces, which is the series that has the swirl. I call them surreal landscapes.
Okay.
And so that was the first one I ever put together quite a long time ago. I took the photos for it maybe around 2018, but didn't put it together until I finally figured out how to make the thing that was in my head after a very long time, until maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. So the idea for this series came way before being able to do it, because the amount of data was too large for my hard drives and my processors and everything. I couldn't put it together.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like George Lucas, right? You couldn't make the prequels until the technology existed, right?
Exactly. I'm just like George Lucas.
Just like it, hey.
No, yeah, it was something I had in my head that to be able to wrangle Photoshop or whatever else I tried into doing the thing and looking right, it did take years. And I don't know if it wasn't just the limitation of the hardware, it was also like what for? Like, what am I going to do with it? Why should it exist? Because I'm not to say other people shouldn't, but for me, I don't want to make cool things because they're cool. I want to actually cause something to happen, whether that's a thought or an idea or a process or reaction, emotion, whatever. And so the thing I had, it all came together, coalesced very nicely in the end, but at the beginning it was like I have the like structure and the image in my head, but not really the why or what I would do with it. And then my hardware wouldn't work. And then eventually, I stepped back from everything. I don't know if I burned out on video or if I was approaching burnout. Either way, I stepped back and just went through a bunch of therapy. And as I was going through that therapy, it all sort of came together. And I found like the right program and got the right hardware. And in my head, it was like, okay, this is what I want to occasion in somebody when they see it. And so I put that one together and I submitted it to a show in Denver, and at the same time submitted the Water Honolulu one to Ardest back at the other location, and both of them got accepted, and then ended up winning the one at Ardest. And so those were like my dual kind of like step into fine art, physical art. My art has never been physical before in my whole life. It's all digital, because right when I started making films, they had just really switched from a lot of analog equipment in high school. Like, I would walk past the VCRs that they did the year before. And when I graduated college was the last year my college used film. And so it was like very tail end, but had never actually put anything out into the world that was you hold,
Yeah.
And that's been a process for me. A lot of artists who are traditional artists, like that's what they learn at the beginning.
Right.
And I didn't know how to print. I didn't know how to frame. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. And I was just like entering shows. The real reason I entered shows to begin with was because I wanted like a more official kind of paper trail of attaching my name to the idea, the Inside Out idea.
Right.
Because I figured once people see it and once people can figure out how I do it, it's going to be a lot of places. And so I wanted some sort of more official, like paper-ish trail kind of thing than just uploading online myself.
To show that it was yours.
Yeah. And so that was the whole idea behind entering calls. Like, it wasn't because I wanted to be like a fine artist or even like I was not prepared for like what happens when you enter the physical space. And
well, you win. How about that?
Well, apparently. Well, the problem with winning though is the curator's like, hey, you should do a lot more all the time for me. And I'm like, I don't know how. And so that's awesome. I actually told Julie no when she asked me, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I know this thing looks cool right now, but it kind of just showed up. Like, and she was like, no, do it. And I was like, no. And she was like, do it. And I was like, okay.
Well, I'm glad you listened to her.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad that it's very relieving for someone like myself to hear you, who I see. When I see your work, I think, oh, this guy's a pro. He's been doing this forever. He's got his act together. And then to find out that you're just like everybody else. You're just trying to figure it out as you go along.
Yes.
That's very relieving.
Yeah. I still feel like when I'm like going through the process and like I use a printer out of Montreal as like my main printer. Every time I do it, I'm like, what is this kind of sublimation HD metal? What is this acrylic 1/4 inch? I have no idea. And I'm just like, well, how about we just have some fun? And like maybe that's why it worked the first time, was because I was like, I guess I'll just have some fun because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Because when I first saw it, I thought you were printing on metal. And then when I actually hold it in my hand, it feels very light.
This one I grabbed. This is the smallest one I've done. The whole idea for this series actually was to be massive. The main goal is to be massive. I'm talking like 10 feet by 20 feet type stuff. The resolution, the total resolution of many of them is about 50,000 by 50,000. And so it's obscene, but this was one I tried out that's really small, just to kind of like show what it would be like to be able to hand hold it.
And there's a shine to it. It feels like acrylic.
So back to what you're saying, acrylic is the main one I do inside out on.
Okay.
If I'm doing a different picture, like this is metal.
Okay, it is metal then, all right.
And I've done a couple on like, I don't know what you call it, photo paper that's fancy. They have a fancy name for it. Julie would know. But yeah, acrylic is what I really like using this printer that I've been using for all the inside out stuff. It just has a depth to it that I think adds to this like landscape kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I like. But I'm still, it's really kind of just like cross your fingers and hope and pray.
Amen. I love that. I love that again, because it looks so polished.
Yeah.
It looks like you really know what you're doing. So.
Thank you.
And another thing that made me think about is, you said you didn't want to make something cool just to have it look cool. I'm so glad you said that, because for a lot of my life, that's all I've been doing, just making stuff that I think looks cool.
Yeah.
But in the fine art world, I might work in a comic book, right? But in the art world, like if it doesn't move people, no one cares. It's like, it's cool, but who cares?
Yeah.
Right? Well, why should I care about it? And so there is, when I look at your works, there is something very intentional about it. And to me, the layman, I look at it, I don't know how you did that. I have no idea. It's just beyond me. But I can tell that there's something deeper going on than just a picture that looks cool, right? So, and you also said you had the idea in your head for the Tegucigalpa, the window piece.
Yeah.
So take me through the process of how you get that image in your head. How did that, because when you see it, it looks like something no one's ever seen before, right?
Yeah, so the basic idea is a portal from some place that you are very familiar with to the same place but new.
Okay.
That's the basic idea. And so, you know, like flying above Houston or Tegucigalpa or wherever, there's a lot of people who are very used to those spaces. I know myself, I grew up in Houston, I'm very used to the space. And what I wanted to not do with my, I don't know, philosophy in my life is be bored that it's the same place, but instead try to look at it from a different, I guess, angle, but literally. Not just a conceptual like shift in perspective, you know, cognitively, but instead what if I could do that for people visually? To where, you know, you don't have to necessarily be some sort of artist or somebody who would call yourself creative or anything like that, but for people who maybe didn't think of themselves that way to be walking by a big mural. Like I was saying, the goal is large scale, because I think these portals work the best when they can surround you.
Yeah.
Like the one in the window is the largest one that I've printed, but that's even like a fourth of the size of what I want. And so the idea is that anybody could experience a portal to the same place but new, a new world that is maybe a step beyond. So that's really the idea, and all that really requires is normal places, you know?
And just seeing it in a different light. Or, I mean, there is a creativity in that. I mean, unless you're going to other worlds, do you have access to other dimensions?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But, you know, I've been experimenting with some telescope stuff and figuring out what compositing telescope images, you know, astrophotography onto like traditional landscapes, what that would be like. If I could crack the low light code of it, then that's something else that I'm thinking about. So we're on our way. I'm not sure. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a cool idea to spend your time and your effort as an artist to be able to like assist other people, even if it's like just a feeling in a moment, you know?
Yeah.
And so I guess a lot of it just really comes from like my hate of Houston as a child. Like I was just so bored of it because it was the same place to me.
Okay.
And then as an adult being like, we can do better than that. We can have a better attitude. We can look at things differently. And that sort of just like following that line of thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of see that a little bit in this piece, right? Your self-portrait, you know, it's your face, your head.
Yeah.
But the city lives within it almost.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of, you know, the crazy highway system that we have here just kind of
Right,
rattling
it's
around.
like our lives. Like that's our life right there,
Like,
you know?
I know that. And so when I saw this the first time, I was like, I get it. Yeah. It's like when because I live in Montgomery, Conroe area, Lake Conroe. And when I go to Houston, like I always have to prepare my mind.
Yes.
I hate driving. I'm from Chicago, and I rarely drove in Chicago. I always took the bus or rode my bike or the train or walked.
Yeah.
You know, or took an Uber if I had to drive, so I could be on my phone and doing other things. Right?
Yeah.
But here, there ain't no getting away from driving.
It's really not.
And it's stressful because I'm sorry, but y'all don't know how to drive around here. It's crazy. It's just.
It's true.
And the signage isn't great, and like there's always construction, and it's just so much stress.
It's very stressful.
And so when you see this, that to me it's like, okay, he's preparing himself to tackle the highways.
You know, it's really cool to hear you say that, because I always wondered if people would ever get it, because on one hand it's like, the name of the piece is "This City's Killing Me."
Ah, okay.
And so on one hand, it's like, yes, the roads, which are the stress point for all of us. But on the other hand, I took this picture on my drone while flying above them. And so it's kind of dual at the same time. Like, yes, it's very stressful. Yes, it can be beautiful. Yes, it is killing me. But like, there are ways where I can find a calm, even like right in the middle of whatever that was, Sabine, right above Sabine, I think. And so, yeah, there's a few different things happening, but really in the end, for me, it does end in peace. I do think there's stressful parts along the way, but what I've found here in this city and in other places that I may have not loved before is like, well, I can decide on peace. And so that's part of it.
Right. And you find it wherever you can, right?
Yeah, and that's why I want to maybe assist in that with other people. Say someone lives in Tegucigalpa, which is millions of people also.
Crazy cities,
And it's probably the same like amount of chaos, just a different flavor. And so like, what if someone could see, you know, wow, there could be a peaceful moment even right in the middle of it. That's the idea.
Right. Yeah, and that definitely, that window piece, when you walk by, if you haven't been to the Ardest Gallery, it's in the Woodlands. You walk by the window and boom, it catches your attention. And you sit there and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a city, and there's some water, and there's nature, there's all the things right there together, but it's kind of twisted, like you said, in this portal. I like the idea of portals.
Yeah.
That clues me in a little more to what your intentions are there.
Yeah, for sure.
And there is a
one of my
piece.
big goals.
There's a piece to it, yeah. You mentioned just a minute ago the drones. So, I didn't know that's what you use, but I have noticed just from following your Instagram and your YouTube channel that you do a lot of drone photography or filmography, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Explain that to me. How?
I don't actually love flying, but I love being able to capture something different. The flying part is more of a distraction for me because I'm mostly thinking about the image while flying, and it can sometimes not go well. But yeah,
You're talking about flying the actual drone itself. Okay. I have no experience with that, so I don't know what it takes.
When you're using a normal one and it's just you're one person, and you're basically splitting your brain into flying and capturing images, which is something normally dedicated to one person at a time in the world.
Gotcha.
There are different drones. If you have a proper setup, you would have a pilot and the camera operator that both sync to the same drone.
Oh, okay.
But that's not what I do. Anyway, so yeah, I got my license probably a few months before the free diving. And so kind of got that stuff around the same time, and you know, use it commercially a bunch, but then also whenever I'm out on jobs and shooting, I'll fly over somewhere else and get some different quick little still, and a lot of time panorama. And so like, this is drone panorama, the other one is drone panorama. Most of the inside out is using drone.
And so panorama just means long...
Stitched.
Okay, so you're stitching different images together to create one large one.
Yeah, each inside out image is 25 images stitched together, composited with 25 other images that are stitched together. So it usually ends up about 50.
Okay, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So that takes up a lot of space, hard drive space. Right?
Yes.
Like, what are we talking? Gigabytes, terabytes, more than that?
The final still image at full resolution usually ends up being about like 5 gigabytes.
Okay.
Just the one
For
image.
one image.
And that means in most places you can't upload it, you can't send it to most people, you can't like actually transfer it. You have to dumb it down, and then usually you have to dumb it down again to do something else with it. And so there's all of these constraints on it. And even though our internet speeds have gone up and people have faster devices, it's still the true like end point of it for me, which is it to surpass someone's peripheral vision. Like I said, a big mural, that has not taken place yet. And so really I'm still kind of like a fraction of where I'm wanting to end up.
Yeah, that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Because we gotta speed up technology a little bit so you can
Exactly.
get going on that. Because I can imagine this quality resolution on a wall. I mean, that would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one day I'll figure it out, but I'm just keeping my eyes open for different calls and things that have actual large format as the goal. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I see come up in your work too is this something that I really am drawn to, and that's like line, geometry, patterns. You have a couple architecture pieces that really have the lines. I'm a huge MC Escher fan. He's one of my favorites. And so your work
Amazing.
reminds me of that. You know, some of the one of them was called Architecture 2. That one specifically had those line patterns at diagonals.
Yeah.
Is that something that's always been in you, or is that?
Yeah, I think that comes from the cinematography background. That was one of the first things we learned when I was first getting into it, was all of the different ways you can use your imagery to say the thing rather than saying the thing.
Ah, yeah.
And one of the most important ways to do that is with line and direction. And so I think it just kind of like overlapped, came over from that pretty fluidly to where by the time I started taking pictures, I was not actually like thinking about it. It's just happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it is something that carries a lot of strength that I like to use.
Yeah, and it points your eye sometimes in the composition.
Yeah.
Which goes again to your cinematography background. You know, you have a very good sense of where to point the eye.
Thank you.
And yeah, I like that. Oh, another thing I want to mention is that you do regular pictures really well too. In fact, so a little.
Thank you.
This is my one of my favorite pictures of me. Is a picture that you took,
Really?
and it's a picture of me here at the gallery painting. I didn't even know you took the picture. I didn't find out until a long time later. Julie said, "Oh, here, Josh took these of you," and I was like,
Nice.
"Dope."
I try to tell her, I'm like,
Yeah.
anytime there's an artist, like, feel free to like hand them over.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, I take a lot of pictures. I don't know who's in them. I don't know. Julie is like, get this, get this, and I just hand it over. But yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's great. I'm glad you did it. I mean, there's several of them in that day. It was like a live painting day. I was painting pets. And so I have a couple of me, and I look very serious. I look like I know what I'm doing, even though I'm making it up as I go along.
like it.
Yeah, and you had you again, the composition, the angles.
Yeah.
You do a image theme I've seen of yours that Julie uses in her publications is the blurred Julie walking by the front door.
Yeah.
I love that. I just love that.
Yeah, that's totally Julie. You know, she tries to tell people she's not an artist. I don't buy it. I tell her to stop because she has some of the best ideas, and just because you don't paint doesn't mean you're not an artist or whatever. She gives me some of the best ideas, and that one was one of hers that we both just like so much that we just keep doing it.
Cool. So that was her idea then. And so how did she explain that to you? How did she go from her explanation to your final product?
She found it as a reference, which for me, I love, you know, like I am the type of cinematographer, so if you can bring me a reference image, then it empowers me. And so we had just been talking about different ideas for the gallery and what could kind of like be different from what we've done before. It had been a few months at that point, and so she was like, how about this? And I was like, I know exactly how to do it, let's do it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, to someone who doesn't know photography, I don't know how you did that.
Right.
I mean, something is slowed down at some point.
Long exposure.
Okay. And you have a really good command of light. We've talked about that before. It comes up in your social media handles.
Oh yeah.
Light from before, and that's on Instagram, and then Light Studies on YouTube. So putting it together with this cinematography background is starting to make sense to me now.
Yeah.
So you're becoming less of an enigma now.
Yeah, which I like,
Yeah.
because I don't ever mean to be. And I've been, even in the process, like you talk about light, it makes me think of my cinematography course was teaching at HCU for a few years. And they asked me to teach cinematography, and I wasn't given a curriculum. I had never done it before. I never planned on teaching. I just found myself in front of all of these students, and I was like, where do I start? We'll start with light.
Yeah.
And to me, that is the difference between a good film's cinematography. I don't know how you'd say it. Cinematography that affects you in a good film versus somebody just turning a camera on. To me, it's light.
Right.
And you can have crazy camera moves. You can think of crazy ideas with the camera. And as a camera person, that's not what affects me. It's the light.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's just kind of been my starting point for everything. Anything we've talked about, you know, it can be the fine art or the way I print something or my films or whatever, that's the starting point. And,
All starting with light.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Talking about light, then another one of my favorite images is the images you get from that old video game Tron. Do you remember Tron?
Very much so.
Okay. Were you a fan of Tron?
I still am.
Okay. I see that. I see like a Daft Punk video. I see those laser beams flying by.
You're gonna make me start crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, I'm sorry to make you cry, but
No, that's for you to feel that and me feel like I haven't even done that yet is like it's like a pre-compliment.
Really?
It's like
Okay.
one day I would have hoped to hear something like that, but I'm not even. I feel like
Okay.
I haven't gotten close yet.
Yeah. Well, to me, that's what I see, especially
Cool.
that profile picture you have on the Ardest website.
Oh yeah.
That is so cool. Like, and I would love to see a whole bunch of those. Like, again, it's part of it is probably nostalgia for me because I grew up playing the Tron video game and watching the movie. You know, that whole era of the '80s and early '90s. And I love Daft Punk too. So when the new one came out, I remember going to the movie theater and just like cheesing, oh, it's so cool. And then, you know, in my partying days, I used to be in the clubs, waving the lights and all the stuff. So
Nice.
it all kind of comes together.
Yeah.
And I see it in your images. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely where I would like to head, you know, and you bringing up that one picture is honestly a picture I completely forgot about. Julie asked for a profile picture, and I was trying to think of something to give that wasn't this one because I'd never done a self-portrait before. Mm-hmm. And even though that one technically is a self-portrait, it's only because I didn't have a stand-in. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to use me, but I was the only person who could do it. And that was actually, I'd have to, I don't know, Google it for you or something. That was done practically. That's in camera, not Photoshop.
Really?
And so you bringing up Tron is interesting because the tool used is called a pixel stick. And so I designed the swirl in virtual reality and then exported it into a flat image and then put it into the pixel stick. And it was actually like waved in front of the camera practically.
Wow.
And that was technically my first like self-portrait, but you can't tell who it is.
Actually, if you know it's you because of the hair.
True.
Just that little bit of spike
That's very
sticking out to
true.
the side. Like when I saw it, I was like, "That's Josh. Of
Yes.
course, it's Josh."
Yeah, but
So-
the funniest part is you bring up Tron because if you were to see the set that day, it looks just like Tron.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it's working. So whatever
Thank
you're
you.
doing, keep doing that, man. I love your
Yeah.
work. I think it's really cool, and like you said, it's intentional too. So there's more to it than just looking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Before we go, I have to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
Everybody gets asked the rapid fire questions. So this will give us a chance to know you a little bit better, Josh.
Okay.
You don't have to give us the reasons why you give the answers. That's the fun for us, the
Sure.
viewer. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea, all right. Up or down?
Up.
Up. Big or small?
Big.
Okay, I knew that one was coming. Beer, wine, shots, or no thanks?
Water.
Okay, no thanks.
I just love water.
Yeah, water's good. Actually, water's in all of those.
Uh-huh.
Right on, okay. 14-hour plane ride or 14-hour train ride?
Train ride.
Okay, that makes
Do
sense.
people pick plane ride?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but if you're on a 14-hour plane ride, you're going to somewhere very exotic, probably.
True.
So,
Very true.
you know,
Yeah.
one or the other. Morning fog or evening fire?
Evening fire.
Okay. That would go good with Tron, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Okay. I was finding a lot of artists are night owls.
Yeah.
Plan or no plan?
Oh, both blended.
Both
I
blended.
try to blend
Yeah.
both as much as I can.
Yeah, and planning for 7-8 years before you're able to execute.
Exactly.
I like that. Trust your eye or trust your gut?
Gut.
Gut? Okay. I thought that might be a tough one for you
It is.
because you use the eye and,
Yeah.
and the gut. So, all right. Movie theater or Netflix?
Movie theater.
Okay, all right. What was the last movie you saw in the movie theater?
Caught Stealing,
Caught Stealing.
I believe
Okay.
it was. New Darren Aronofsky movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I saw Superman. I was not impressed.
I did not see it.
Yeah. Sorry, Superman.
Ever since I started teaching film, I haven't really been going to the movie theaters, which is a funny flip, but that's the way it's been.
Yeah. Beauty or truth?
Does not compute. Truth,
Truth.
actually.
All right. Okay. Art that whispers or art that shouts?
I'll go with shouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can see that.
Another tough one. I feel like you're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, I want to see where you are. Just on any given, it could change tomorrow, so it's
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shooting at midday or shooting at midnight?
Midnight.
All right. All right. I can see that from you for sure.
Always.
Work with music or no music?
The loudest music.
The loudest music. Right on. What do you listen to?
Tron.
All right, Daft Punk.
I'm serious.
Yeah. I'm serious too. I listened to that one. And you mentioned Nine Inch Nails. They did that soundtrack to The Watchmen. Have you ever heard that one? That
The
from
show.
HBO, from the show. Yes, that
definitely.
soundtrack is really cool. It's very Tron-esque.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything they do is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and the last one. This is, I think I know the answer to this one, but we'll just ask anyway. One artwork at a time or many at a time?
One at a time.
Oh, okay, really?
One at a time, but it shouldn't be.
Okay.
One at a time for me, man, it holds me up.
Okay.
I should probably be doing more multiple at a time.
That is a surprise to me. I figured you'd have lots of different coals in the fire. But
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, well, I'll give you even more credit. So you're making it up as you go along, one at a time, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Josh, before we go here, let me just tell everybody how to find you on Instagram. It's Light From Before, and that's with the underscores. We'll put it up here so people can see it. And you're on YouTube at Light Studies.
Yes.
Anything else you want to plug?
No, those are kind of my main go-tos right now. I don't really use much else. I've got a website. I can give you that.
Right on. Oh, what's the website?
light-studies.com.
light-studies.com. And we'll
Yeah.
put that here in the link in the description below. All that jazz. Josh, thank you very much for coming in.
Yes,
Right?
of course.
We'll have
Thank
to
you
do
for
it again.
having me.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more Tron here at another time. But
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure. We'll do it again.
Okay.
Right? Peace.